Now, a little history lesson. Most people would think that my passion for the North Pennines began when I was a child, or maybe when I was a teenager and I came here on Duke of Edinburgh expeditions, that type of thing. Well, to be honest, it started a bit later than that, when I was in my late teens, and basically I learned to drive. And me and my cousin had this thing where we would go out and try and get lost, and then try and find our way back. So we came up here, trying to get lost, and the scenery that I saw then ignited my passion for this place. So, today, I'm going to recreate it and show you the sights of the North Pennines by car. And our journey begins here at Derwent Reservoir.
It's almost criminal how I haven't covered this area before in a video. But today, that is about to change.
Now, Derwent Reservoir is one of the, what I like to call, the big three reservoirs in the northeast of England. You've got Cowgreen, my favourite place, to the south. You've got Derwent, and then you've got Kielder to the north. And even though it's a totally different world, it is actually quite accessible. The A68, which is a major trunk road, runs 4 miles away, and it is very well signposted to here. But it's so peaceful, and it's well worth the start of our tour. Now, some people will be saying, well, why aren't you up the side of a mountain hiking up into the wilds? And you have to remember that most people's first impressions of the North Pennines is through a car window. It'll be unfair to leave them out. So, where do we begin on this whirlwind tour of the North Pennines by car? Well, first of all, we'll make a quick stop at a lovely little village called Edmundbyres.
Unfortunately, due to time constraints and the weather, I do not actually stop at Edmundbyres. But it is a lovely place to visit if you get the chance. However, onwards I travel. To my first stop off, Powhill Country Park, on the shores of Derwent Reservoir.
Welcome to Powhill Country Park in the height of autumn. And it looks like I found something already. Now, as well as being a country park, it's also one of the last few places in the north that is a stronghold for red squirrels. I would love to get a shot of one today, but I don't think that's going to happen. But you never know. And don't forget to look behind you as well. And here at the water's edge, we find the classic.
I never did get the separation I wanted with this image. Never mind, better luck next time. Believe it or not, even though this looks painted, it is actually a photograph. And finally, it's got to be a classic. The stumps sticking out nicely from the water.
Quite a pleasant walk around. It's a shame the wind's picking up. It's always the same in the North Pennines. The wind picks up. Never mind, on to the next destination. So, as we head to our next destination, I've been there before. Oh, where could that be? Could the theme game be coming out again? By the way, if anybody doesn't like this guessing the theme idea, please leave a comment below. Some people may find it irritating. So, where am I heading? Well, here's that theme. Any ideas? We'll play it again. Any closer? Full marks if you guessed Blanchland.
Driving along pretty dales until we reach our first stop off point, the gorgeous village of Blanchland.
Now, although I have been here before, I did kind of like skirt the area because obviously I was mainly interested in the Carrier's Way. But honestly, it is a gorgeous village. So idyllic. Really, really well worth a visit here. Even when it's cloudy. I mean, it has its own pub, its own post office, its own square, everything, and it's gorgeous.
From the humorous sign outside of the pub to the joyful little walk through the square and under the arch, Blanchland is gorgeous, truly worth a visit.
It is idyllic here and gorgeous, and it's a nice starting point. For now, we head to Stanhope and the Pennines themselves. Now, as we leave Blanchland behind, we go past the little village of Baybridge, which I've also covered briefly, and then we start the climb. Quite looking forward to this.
And as we follow the road to Stanhope, slowly climbing higher and higher, we are finally rewarded with a tremendous view of the North Pennines.
And with Bolt's Law shrouded in cloud, we head to Parkhead Railway Station. Parkhead Railway Station. It is on what used to be an old railway line running to Stanhope, which hasn't been used for a long time. They've ripped it up. And many cyclists will know this route as it's part of the C2C, linking Sunderland or Newcastle with Whitehaven across the country. But it's still a gorgeous view across the Pennines.
Parkhead Railway Station is now a cafe out on the moors, and as we follow the C2C route, we start to see the views of the North Pennines, panning around to Wascally Reservoir and wilderness for miles.
Yes, even out here, it is still a glorious view. So from here, it's on to Stanhope.
And as we leave Parkhead Railway Station, heading over the top of Weather Hill and down the side towards Crawleyside Bank, I have left this section in on the video in case anybody wants to follow the route. In Stanhope, you come to a junction where you have to turn right and then left. But this video should hopefully make it easier to follow. Once in Stanhope, simply follow the road signs to Barnet Castle on the B6278.
The route we are now taking, at one time we would have to ford the River Wear here, and it can get quite deep. Thankfully, they've built a bridge and a road around it instead. And as we start the climb again, leaving Weardale behind and Stanhope, it's time to head over the top to Teesdale.
And as we drive down the side of Bridget Hill to a very colourful part of the North Pennines, we come to some quarries which I cannot find the name for. If anybody does know, please leave a comment below. But still, it is a gorgeous place.
Here we are on the site of an old quarry on both sides, and there's a tree up here I've been wanting to capture in the right light for a long time. I'm hoping today's the day.
As I head towards the tree, I am apprehensive. I have tried to capture this tree many times and failed. Will today be any different?
And this is the tree. Stands on its own, but I cannot get the separation. It's just too much around it, and it's a shame, but I'm going to try anyway. Still looking.
I spend the following hour looking around the quarries, trying to find things of interest that would make a good image. From the grey stark walls of the quarry itself to the more unusual aspects of this area, including old mine shafts which have been left open. I finally make my way through fields of brown heather and bracken. Back to the car. I did try to get an image of this tree. It breaks every rule in the book, but I still like it. And finally, on my wandering round the quarry, I do find something of interest.
It's time to leave Washpool Crags and head up towards Bullyhope Common and Middleton and Teesdale.
It's hard to believe that this is actually the route of an old Roman road that we are now following. But as we follow the road down from Great Eggleshope Bridge, Middleton and Teesdale comes into view, and once there, it is still as gorgeous as ever.
And here we are, back in Middleton and Teesdale. Now, whichever route you choose to take over the North Pennines, you will be afforded some spectacular views. I've just gone over one of them, and it still takes my breath away. Hope you have enjoyed it. Whether you have enjoyed the scenery, the reservoir, the images, or even just the journey, do not forget, everything you've watched, everything you've seen, this is nature.
And we'll just pause it there for a while, because it is not quite over yet, as we head back, in reverse, all the way back through the quarry, and back to Stanhope. You may notice thinking, why is he doing this? Well, something caught my eye. And it's here.
I mean, come on, how amazing is that?
I have often heard the Lake District being referred to as God's country. To be honest, I don't think that deity has a preference. Because this is the North Pennines.